Hashtag emotional hook, inciting incident, Christmas morning. Wrapping paper everywhere. My sister beaming, holding 2 plane tickets to Europe. My parents applauding like she'd just won a Nobel Prize. Then came my turn. A small, flat package. I tore it open, expecting, at least, something thoughtful. Instead, a paperback. How to Grow Up, Lessons for the Perpetually Immature. Dad smirked. Mom added, "We thought it was time you stopped wasting money on silly dreams." My sister laughed so hard she nearly choked. I didn't. I just smiled, closed the book, and let the silence stretch. That was the moment I decided to take their advice. I would grow up. Not in the way they meant, but in the way that would teach them what real maturity looks like. Hashtag backstory setup. The relationship. It hadn't always been this way. When we were kids, I adored my sister. I'd give her my toys, defend her on the playground, even sneak her snacks when she cried at night. I thought we were allies. But slowly, I noticed a pattern. She took, and they applauded. When I got good grades, not enough effort. When she scraped by, she's brilliant in her own way. When I bought my own used car with saved wages, reckless purchase. When she demanded a brand new one, they handed her the keys. Love became lopsided. I became the punchline. And by Christmas, the balance was beyond repair. Hashtag discovery of betrayal. The final confirmation came a week before Christmas, though I hadn't spoken of it. I overheard them in the kitchen, whispering, "Mom, we'll just transfer from his account. He won't notice. He never checks. Dad, it's for her tuition. He doesn't need that much saved." My money, the one thing I had fought for, the one thing they hadn't given me. They were planning to strip it away, funnel it to her, and smile in my face while doing it. That was the night I decided not to react with anger, not with shouting, but with precision. Shift in mindset. Strategic planning begins. I started combing through every shared detail of our lives. My parents used my name as the backup on multiple accounts. They trusted me with passwords they'd long forgotten. They assumed I was too immature to ever use them. They had no idea I was keeping receipts. Every text, every email, every transfer. I didn't need to yell. I just needed timing. By Christmas morning, when they slid that insulting book across the table, I was already 10 steps ahead. Execution of the plan. That night, while the house was quiet, I moved. I froze the joint account they always tapped into. My savings transferred out into a separate entity under my name alone. I left the balance at just enough to look untouched, for now. Next, I checked my sister's university portal. I'd seen the tuition reminders in their inbox. I knew deadlines. With one click, I revoked the scheduled payment linked to the shared account. No money, no enrollment. Lastly, I drafted an email, polite, professional, informing the university of family funding complications and instructing that all financial responsibility for my sister be redirected to my parents directly. Everything routed back to them. No buffer, no excuses. And me? I sat back, book in hand, and waited. Climax and confrontation. Morning came with the sound of my phone buzzing, Mom's name flashing. I let it ring once, twice. Then I answered. Her voice was shrill, frantic. Why didn't the tuition payment go through? They withdrew her enrollment. Do you have any idea what you've done? I calmly turned a page in the book they'd given me. How to Grow Up. I took your advice, I said. I grow up. I stopped letting you treat me like a backup plan. Silence. Then Dad grabbed the phone. His voice was low, dangerous. You've ruined your sister's future. I smiled. No, you did. I just stopped paying for it. He sputtered threats, anger, shame disguised as authority. But underneath, I could hear it, the first crack in their control. The sound of people who suddenly realized the ATM had learned to say no. Resolution and emotional release. That afternoon, my sister showed up at my door, mascara streaked, spitting insults. I didn't flinch. She threw the book at me, screamed that I was selfish. I handed it back to her. You might need it more than I do. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel like the forgotten child. I felt steady, untouchable. My parents wanted me to grow up, so I did, just not in the way they expected. Because growing up isn't about bowing your head and taking humiliation. It's about standing tall, protecting what's yours, and making sure those who underestimated you never forget the day you stopped being their punchline. And trust me, Christmas morning will never feel the same for them again.